I believe that they're going to start making this more like a smart city, making it more tech friendly. So many opportunities. This
The
city
next
was built
Dubai.
for that. Yeah, with the next Dubai. Yeah, it's just so many different
Dubai just
opportunities.
got a Las Vegas.
Yeah, yeah. Did they?
Yes.
Okay, tell me about it.
Well, it's kind of special. You should look it up. And I
Yeah.
think that Dubai's real estate and the way that they sell things in drops is insane. Welcome to Ask Alexis, the space where we dive deep into all things real estate, business, life, and fitness. And I can't wait to bring you even more value. Now, let's get started. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I have a guest with me. He is an EXP agent. He is in the commercial space. He also hosts his own networking events, and it is anywhere from fitness to business and entrepreneur lifestyle. Today I have with me Ace. Thank you so much, Ace.
Hey, how you guys doing? I appreciate you having me on today.
Yes, tell us a little bit about Ace. How did you stumble into what I would consider one of the greatest industries in the world?
That's true. Real estate is one of the greatest industries in the world. I've been in real estate since 2018, but my first encounter with real estate was back in college. I was taking Rich Dad, Poor Dad courses and going to seminars trying to learn more about how to be an investor, be a wholesaler, and that's kind of how I got into it. My dad originally was a big investor in Kentucky down Midwest.
Really?
Yeah, so he started flipping houses as long as I can remember. So it's always kind of been in the midst of what I wanted to do with my life, but I was real tied in with football. So that's kind of where
Stopped it at
yeah,
first.
that's what stopped it for sure. So that's kind of what gave me that pause. I put all my pretty much my whole life into football up until my senior year of college, where I played for UNLV. And I tore my ACL. Yeah, so that kind of deterred me, and then that's when I started looking deeper into like different avenues when it came to entrepreneurship and just controlling my own destiny, because the football thing took a toll. It really did, and it's like having your whole life poured into something. It becomes your identity, and now you got to find that new avenue for yourself, and that's what business was for me first, and then eventually real estate kind of fell into my focus.
And that's so amazing because you were able to see that this industry worked, right? For your own family, and you had your own dreams, your own aspirations, and that's so amazing to even take it as far as you did, because a lot of people don't take those chances that they get, right? Or they don't really perfect the craft, or they don't believe in themselves to take it to the next level, where you knew that you were absolutely going to take it to the next level until, unfortunate circumstances happen. But instead of having like this woe is me, mentality, which I'm sure at first it was very, hard.
Oh yeah, for
But
sure.
you've completely turned around and leveraged yourself into, like I said, one of the best industries in the world. And the opportunities that are here are pretty much endless. The connections that we make are endless.
Yeah.
And so how did you start off? How did you start off when you started your real estate journey in 2018?
So after the courses, I dabbled into the wholesaling, had binders full of information, just getting information, when you overload with
Yeah,
education
yes.
and procrastinate and hold off. And then one day it was just like, okay, I have my businesses. I seen what that's like. I fulfilled my purpose within the fitness industry, because after football, I went into fitness. I owned 3 gyms here in Las Vegas called Ace Fitness. And we were in business for about 10 years. Pretty much trained the whole Las Vegas area. We focused more on like women empowerment. Our motto was booty building, so it was like a flood when that trend was going, when everybody wanted to build a butt. It was like our
Your
our
brand, your niche, yeah.
It was really
You
good.
niched down to that.
Yeah, and then I just kind of peaked at a certain point. It was like I did everything, had supplements, had apparel.
Oh, you took it all the way.
Yeah, I took it all the way. We made over $1 million a year in the business. Yeah, it was a pretty good business. And then I lost the passion for it. It wasn't really my thing anymore, and I wanted to focus my attention on building long-term wealth and generational wealth for my family. So I went into business acquisitions first, which was fun. It was super cool. I got a lot of experience. I owned lounges, food trucks. I still had my gyms. I had a meal prep company, and then I went into lending, and then I seen the benefits of like dealing with entrepreneurs on that end when it comes to funding. And yeah, I mean, real estate at that point wasn't even in the mix.
No, not a forefront at all.
No, not at all. Until I'll say like recently, within like the last 3 years, I just went all the way in with it. I seen that if I wanted to own something and I wasn't leasing, like I was leasing most of the businesses, or I would buy from them and I had to take over a lease. But I wanted to own the building. I would stand outside of my gyms every day and like how can I get this building? I want to own these different businesses within the real estate.
Right.
And
that's a different ball game.
It's a different ball game.
And the hat that you wear when you're, on the owning the building side to actually running the business, right?
Exactly.
There's a lot more pieces to the puzzle and your time that is going to go into running a business instead of just collecting rent off of a business that has that's their problem to figure out how they're going to structure and make money. They just collect a check
exactly,
whether they're profiting or not,
Yeah.
So it is completely different, and it does give that time.
I had ideas like, okay, if I bought the property, I could help each individual business grow by helping them market, because since I've ran a bunch of different businesses, I mastered marketing and I mastered the sales and how to acquire new customer bases. So that was the vision, and that's kind of what got me into commercial real estate. I just went all in. So I signed with EXP and started becoming an agent, and I recommend that for anybody. I think that if you want to do anything in the real estate game, you should get your license, just so that you can immerse yourself in the industry, learn the language, because it's a different type of it's just like anything. It's like if you go to Mexico and don't know how to speak Spanish, you're gonna feel lost. So it's the same thing when it comes to industries and businesses. If you don't know the lingo, it's easy for people to get over on you, or you not to be as successful and efficient at your job as you would if you were to immerse yourself fully into that environment. So,
right.
Yeah, so that's what I did. I signed up with EXP, and then I started Elite Capital, which is on my shirt. It's our brand, which is our fund. It's a real estate investment fund where we specialize in multifamily, commercial, and then we do residential. So we bring investors in, we allocate the money into different properties, different assets. So majority in those sectors. So it's been amazing. It's been one of the best.
It's been a journey, hasn't it?
It's been a journey. But I think like the thing that really changed everything for me which separated me from everybody else, is the thinking bigger. Like when you start, some people, like you said before, some people are stagnant. They don't really have that what's next mindset.
No.
It's more of like, okay, this is working, I'm gonna stick to this, and this is all. Like and
because this works, they feel comfortable with it. They're seeing results,
and it works
time and time again.
It works to a certain point. Like if you're cool with just sustaining in life, then you don't think about growth. You think about sustainability. But when you at a point where you at our age, and right now I'm 35 or 30. I'm sorry, I'm 30. I put an age on me. I'm 33.
You put 2 years on you.
Yeah, I put 2 years on me. No,
that's 2 years of wisdom, y'all.
That's what you get for lying all the time. Yeah, telling the women you're 35. No, but thinking bigger and never wanting to just be comfortable. And that I love being uncomfortable. It's one of my motivations. Is like, if anybody can do it and it seems too easy, I don't want to do it. I always wanted to challenge myself. That's actually one of my strengths, is a challenger. I did a personality test, and it came back as me being a challenger, someone that strives.
Challenges
to
life.
Yeah,
like you're looking for that challenge. And I mean, it's very shown in the way that you present yourselves, especially in the way that you chose avenues, right? Like you could have did residential versus commercial, and I guess that goes back to the branding side of things too, because in order for commercial to really move, you have to market it. You have to show that end buyer what they can utilize that space for. It's not like a common necessity as what 4 walls and 4 bedrooms, and like people they know what they need in terms of a house and school districts and things like that. It's a lot easier to put somebody in a home because they need to shelter their family and they need to be by this certain school because their kids go to this certain school or this certain area because of the commute. And it's different with commercial because you have to show a business that this space is going to be vital for their business, that it makes sense, whether that's location, the space, what they could utilize the space. Like the space that we're in right now, they had to know, did this make sense? If not, they would have had to go to the next building that 100%. Had enough rooms or sound coverage, or what are they allowed to do to the structure of the marketing. There's a lot of different avenues to commercial in terms of a lot of moving pieces and branding.
And it's really to each his own. It's like when it comes to commercial, the reason why I chose it is because I love business. I love entrepreneurs. I love seeing people grow as an entrepreneur. I like seeing people be able to envision something in their mind and make that a reality for themselves, and then use that vision and that vehicle to feed their families. And with a house, I wasn't really into the meticulous granites and the flooring and all that didn't really tickle my fancy like that. I really wanted to help people scale. I wanted to be in find people a place to, because I started in business and it was my life. Like it's been my life, and being able to help people get through that process, even with the finding a space or getting into a lease, that because our first deal, I'll tell you, it was probably one of the worst deals ever with our first gym. It was 6,500 square feet. We were paying probably like $10,000 a month, and we signed a 10-year lease. Yeah, so it was crazy. It was just like, and no, I didn't have an agent or anybody, a professional or expert to guide me through that process. It was like I went to the landlord. He gave me his agent, and his agent got over on me.
Well, yeah, because he was in the best interest of his client, not
exactly,
you. You were just a person that he needed to get that space rented out.
Yeah, exactly. And
at any cost.
And it hurt, and it went to a point where that affects your profit on your business.
Absolutely.
So if you know you're stuck in this lease for 10 years and the rent is, and they're gradually increasing. People don't know your rent usually, if it's a net, if it's a triple net, your net, your rent is going to increase every other year or every year. So it was certain things that we just had to learn the hard way. And I got in this position, and when it comes to being an agent, it's just to help people get past that process and really teach them. Education has been one of our biggest things when it comes to this business, is being able to show people the way and give them as much information as possible, be transparent as possible. And it helps us on both ends when it comes to working with investors and working with business owners that just want to get in a lease and run their business. So it's definitely been amazing. I love this mission that we're on right now.
Well, and I love that you're starting with education, right? Because you need to, instead of just pinpointing where somebody needs to go because it's a good deal, like you want them to know that on their own. And at least be able, now they don't have to study everything that goes into what you do on a day-to-day basis, but they do have to be educated into what they're signing, like to the point where you signed for 10 years of your life into something that is going to gradually increase at a price that was already high for the amount of square footage that you like.
Yeah.
When you do the math on that, it's high, but it is a lot different in a commercial space and per square footage, price per square footage. But no, you're spot on. And we need to educate everybody on all sides of the spectrum, whether they're a first-time home buyer, second-time home buyer, it's their vacation home, it's their estate. What is really their plan, and how can we help get them there? Exactly. And what value can we give? And I guess the biggest value that we can give is education. Yeah,
that's the biggest thing that we could do for people. And helping them streamline that process and making it easier for them. And they'll become lifelong customers. I have investors and business owners that come to me when they want to expand now, just because I was there for them through that process. Yeah, you built that relationship with them.
And you curate it, and you're there for them, and they feel it, and they know that when you're presenting them a deal at any point going forward, they know that you've already established that trust with them, that they're like, oh, Ace is presenting me this deal because it's a good deal. Like, he's not trying to get one over on me. He just came across this, and then now they're able to transact in a way that makes a lot more sense because they're not just thinking, oh, this is the next salesperson that's just trying to get one over on me. Now they can actually be like, oh, this might actually be, a deal present at hand, and we should probably, transact or not transact depending on their situation. But you're giving opportunity to people.
Yeah, and one key factor that will separate you in commercial is building that relationship.
Yes.
This is a relationship industry, whether you like it or not. Most people want that transactional bit. This isn't insurance. We're not just selling the product and moving on to the next. This is a lifelong relationship that we're trying to build with people. So making that first impression where you're giving value versus just trying to get the deal closed is how people grow in this industry.
You're even doing that with these meetups that you do. So talk a little bit about these meetups and why are you doing it? Like, what's your forefront plan and what are you really trying to curate from getting all of these people together? And where are you trying to take it to the next level?
I mean, that's a good question. I always felt like networking was one of the most powerful tools that I had because I was always a connector. I was always able to use my resources and connect the dots. Back in the days I did car sales, I sold cars. So it was like, I know someone selling a car, I know someone buying a car. I'm just going to play, supply and demand. And it's just like finding a place where I fit in, where I could build a platform and everyone could connect and bringing it all in. That was one of my biggest goals. I love community aspects of anything. Being a personal trainer, owning gyms, like that's your first thing. Like build a community, build a culture. And with the networking events and the meetups that we have, it's all about building that culture. So it's all about people connecting. It's all about building lasting relationships. One of my biggest goals this year was to build meaningful relationships and have meaningful experiences. So that was just part of my mission. It's just how can I connect everybody on a platform and we can all eat, because if we all eat, then it's enough in the pot for everybody to eat.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, but if we all eat, then everyone can continue to create the commerce, can create the supply and demand, and keep it going and keep it growing, because that's the biggest thing. Is like if you're the only one winning, what's the purpose? That's when it's lonely at the top.
Well, we work so much better as a team.
Yeah.
I think. Like, I thoroughly love the meetup groups that we go, either whether it's one of your entrepreneur meetups or even the fitness ones that you do, like that running, 2 to 3 miles. That's we run LV. Like, that's a great way for me to de-stress and go and get my fitness on, and then be able to talk to you guys about what's going on or what I've seen with my little eyes in the real estate industry for that week, and then just being able to bounce ideas off of, well, how are your buyers reacting, or what do you see that's going on into the market, and having those connections and talking to people about your industry just takes us to that next level, because we're having those conversations. That means we care about what we're doing, that we're not just trying to put somebody into something that doesn't make sense to them. Like it's I don't know, it's special. And I like it. And I like your idea of, bringing fitness and business together.
Yeah, and that was a total accident. Like it was something I love to do. I've always ran. Like that was one of my things, is like clearing my mind. I would early in the morning, late at night, I'll be outside running. And it was just like, it just came to me one day, like, wow, what if I just start a group, a club, not knowing that there was clubs already going on, and this was already a thing, but we're gonna make it more entrepreneurial based. We want to be able to have people that are like-minded, people that can that want to be the health, wealth, and happiness factor is one of the biggest things to me and to the world. I mean, that's what we're missing. That's what we need to continue to push the narrative with. So, yeah.
No, I like it. And that's not to discredit anybody that's not an entrepreneur. And we still, I'm sure that you would still want anybody to come and run. And, he hosts this event every Sunday at 10:30 at different locations. And honestly, any location that you may be interested in running, I'm definitely sure that that's something that they would take into consideration
100%.
Because I know that you want to be, as flexible to getting, the community together and getting us all in health is wealth kind of mentality. And I definitely can feel that this year is a lot different than a lot of other years, right?
100%.
Like in terms of people are starting to stay at the gym longer. You know, we would have already seen that turnaround of like kind of stagnant people starting to drop off. Whereas January, no, I feel like it's a lot more. Like people want to get into a better space. They're starting to learn about their nutrition, what they're putting into their bodies and things like that. And it's just those first couple of steps in doing it as a group and knowing that people have your back in a supportive system really helps people continue that path a lot longer than them trying to do something on their own.
Exactly.
I mean, some people are great motivators on their own, and some of us just aren't, and we need one another to help push us along, but that's why we're a community. I really feel like we're meant to serve in any way and in every aspect. I don't think there's one person on this planet that is not meant to serve another human being.
And business is one of the biggest portions and jobs in the world when it comes to serving. Like,
absolutely.
Yeah, if you take that responsibility on, just understand that that's your purpose. Your purpose is to serve your customers, serve your people, serve your community. That's the goal. And if you make that your mission when you start in anything, if you're starting investing, if you're starting
new business,
a new
clothing
business,
line, anything, know that your job is to serve, and you'll be successful because you'll be giving more value, and people will see the genuine of you
intention for it. Yeah, and that's what it's all about, is having that genuine intention, and you'll get everything that you want in life. It's really just having the mindset of helping people and boosting people up and leveling other people up versus taking. Don't be a taker in this world, because majority of the takers end up losing at the end. But
and they do win at first.
I mean, they'll win at first, but that's a short game. If you want something long,
is a marathon.
Yeah, it's a marathon, and the marathon continues. Exactly. I live by that.
That's definitely what I learned. This is definitely not a sprint. No, I love sprinting. I do.
I love sprinting too, but I'll take that long marathon any day, because I know at the end of the day it'll all be worth it. And my purpose here is to make an impact, and I feel like you can only do that when you put your all, like I did with football. Like, I put my all into something, and I felt what that felt. I mean, I felt that feeling of what it feels like to immerse yourself in something, and the benefit, the love, the experience that you get when you just dive all the way in, and then you bring your brothers and
they feed off of that. They feed off of your energy because you're so excited. You have all this passion put into it,
and you create a family. You create a unity. You create a community. So, and that's big to me. It's just like feeling that love and feeling that support, and knowing that I'm doing something to help other people is bigger than money to me right now. Yeah,
that's spot on. Tell us a little bit about the commercial space in Las Vegas. What's going on commercial-wise? First quarter, we're running towards the end of the first quarter, coming shortly. How has things been moving, transacting?
I'm gonna let y'all in on a secret, because a lot of people don't. I mean, if you're not doing the market research on a lot of things, like the east side of Las Vegas is about to boom. Like,
absolutely.
Yeah, it's so many opportunities on the east side of Vegas. So
look at the businesses that are going there. Even the new businesses that are built from ground up, they're not cheaping out in terms of the kind of business or the way that the building infrastructure looks like. Especially in certain areas where you're like, they really put something that looks like that right there, and they're like, we sure did.
Yeah, so many businesses are moving here. So many huge companies, Amazons and Teslas and Boxable. I'm invested in Boxable. That's one of my top companies.
Plug them in.
Check them out. But no, big companies are moving here. I believe that they're going to start making this more like a smart city, making it more tech friendly. So many opportunities. This city was built for that. Yeah, with the next Dubai. Yeah, it's just so many different opportunities.
Dubai just got a Las Vegas.
Yeah. Did they?
Yes.
Okay, tell me about it.
Well, it's kind of special. You should look it up. And I think that Dubai's real estate and the way that they sell things in drops is insane.
Yeah.
I went to one Dubai presentation and just watching their entire, they have middlemen, like agents like us that pretty much tell them about bids that are coming up or coming available. And if you want one, your time to buy is whenever they tell you, and then they go in line to Dubai and, then go put in your offer in on a home and hope that you secure it. No, it's insane because it works for them. Yeah. They have buildings that sell out within hours. Whole buildings. Can you imagine building a multifamily skyrise and having it sell out within minutes of releasing?
That's the goal. That's the goal. Yep. So we definitely a growing city. We got a metropolitan.
Absolutely. There's so much beautiful things happening here.
Yeah, the opportunities are endless.
You had mentioned on bringing people from other states here, and I am so on that same page because I feel like we could benefit from the different businesses or the different arts, talents from the San Franciscos, the Chicagos, all of these. There's so many people that have such great ideas, whether it's the food lifestyle, the culture lifestyle, the different business ideas, AI. Like I am one of the biggest fans of. It's AI is the first stock that I ever purchased in my life.
Wow, yeah. Tesla was mine.
Because I was like, there's no way that I use this every single day, and I believe in it full. Like, I know that people are afraid of where AI can go, and I mean, yes, you should be wary of technology. I mean, we all have seen iRobot, and we saw how it ended up for Will Smith, and we all cried. We cried about the dog. We cried about Will Smith. Yeah. We cried like babies in that movie. Yeah. But it's beautiful. Yeah. Like, it's done. Like, all right, I use ChatGPT for now what I do in my workouts, in my superset workouts. And it has made me so much more efficient in terms of now I still have to do the work. AI doesn't work out for me and then I get a six-pack. Like, that's not how that works. Right. But what it's done is it's simplified my life because we as humans like to overcomplicate things to the max, which I don't know why we do that to ourselves, but we do. But having a technology like this that simplifies me having to, should I superset this with this? No. It's made it simplified for me. So I just go into the gym. I knock out the workout and I can obviously run different scenarios where I'm like, oh yeah, I'm absolutely not doing that. Like, that sounds ridiculous.
Make that adjustment.
But it makes it so much easier. Like, something that could have easily taken 30 to an hour of my day of trying to put together a workout is done in 5 minutes or less. And then I just have to go and work out or do it right at the gym.
Oh my God, I use ChatGPT for everything. I actually use a lot of AI, like in video. I do some of the video AI. I did a lot of different marketing with AI, so I love it. I mean, it makes everything way easier, so much simpler and automated. So.
And you can focus on doing other things because you were able to simplify tasks that took, like, making spreadsheets.
Right. Or business plans.
Things that took hours and hours out of your time can now be, pushed on to something that can do it in seconds, so that way you can free up your space to go on to something that's better. So I don't think that we should be afraid of it. I think that we should utilize it. I don't think that AI is going to take everybody's jobs, but I do think
it's going to take some people's jobs.
No, it is going to take, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Because then that just means that those people have to elevate to the next level and start being more servers, back to the point of what I said, that we all have to serve. Maybe in the light that they were serving really wasn't benefiting anybody, and it wasn't benefiting them or anybody involved. So... But people that don't use AI, I think, are the next wave of people that are going to get left behind.
Oh yeah, yep. It's always going to be people that are opposed to growth and change and progress.
Absolutely.
And it's just...
And they fight it, and they'll fight it to the bitter end, even if it makes sense, even if the numbers... And maybe that's something that we can work on, too, is really just... learning how to describe something to somebody, right? Because sometimes numbers just, like, they're not an analytical person, so you could keep showing them these numbers and, like, this is the best deal that you've ever seen in your life. But if you can't connect with them on that emotional aspect and actually break down their barrier and get them to really own in on their why and what is the real thing that would actually move them, because it's not money. Money doesn't typically move people. No. It's life situations. It's what works best for them. It's never money.
No, I
or
think
a slim chance of money. It's more of
I think being able to articulate in any way, being able to figure out who you're speaking to,
yes.
and be able to communicate to them on either level, being people that love the numbers or people that love the vision, is very important. Being able to paint the picture for somebody. I look at myself as an artist when it comes to communication and sales and marketing, is because I will paint the picture so clear and communicate it so clear that I don't have to sell. All I have to do is give you the information. So many people go through that same process you're talking about, like getting people to evolve and getting people to learn, and they teach them how they were taught or how they processed it. But if you really sit down with people and you really figure out and ask the right questions with people, then
they'll open up.
Yeah, they'll open right up to you, and you'll be able to have the tools that you need in order to
make that impact
exactly,
and get them to that next level. Because like right now with interest rates, right, there's so many people that don't want to move because of interest rates, whether they're sitting in an interest rate that's at a 2% interest rate, or they don't want to take out a mortgage that has 6.5% interest rate, right? But if you are able to understand what their why is, maybe it makes a lot more sense for them to move right now because of the way that their life scenario is going to be. Well, if you can explain to them in that way and understand what their why is and work with that why, and then really own into, okay, so would you rather take out a home at 425 and pay 6.5 right now, and then when life gets a little bit better and maybe interest rates go down a little bit, you can actually refinance and have equity? Or do you want to wait till interest rates are at a lower level and now that 425 house is sitting at 475, and then, oh wait, what happens if interest rates just drop a little bit, but you can't refinance because you don't have any equity in your home because you prepaid for your equity?
Okay, yeah.
Does that
I
make
like it.
sense?
That makes, that's exactly how you break it down. I love that. And I love how you mentioned the why, because the motivation for people is everything. We look for motivated sellers, and motivated buyers. If we can figure out and find the button to press that will make them execute faster and create that sense of urgency within them. Just some people forget when the money get in front of them. Like, as soon as those numbers get in front of you, you lose all sight of what your vision really was. And I'm here to remind you, this is what you wanted. This is what you saw for your future. Exactly. And this is why.
And then you can use that. I almost lost a lady on the phone today because I had brought up numbers before I got familiar with her. Yeah. And then I had to fight for my life to keep that phone conversation. And I did. I was able to realize what I did and really take it back. Because you can't just bring up numbers to people because it makes them scared unless they're an analytical person, and you can get that right. And you can hear it in people's tonality and the way that they talk. You can kind of tell an analytical man or woman versus somebody that's not, right? But the percentage of analytical people versus vision people there's a lot more visualizers, and the numbers just have to make sense in terms of affordability, but it's not their forefront. That's not what they're mainly focused on. They're focused on their why, not the deal.
And then when you're talking to, or when you're selling anything, remember that you're talking to a person, that you're talking to another human being. Going through the scripts and not really understanding what kind of person you're talking to or what kind of personality you're dealing with will shoot you in the foot right away. If you can sit down, ask the person questions, have compassion, have empathy, listen to their story, listen to the reason or the positions or the circumstances they're in right now, you can help them. And that turns this job into more of a problem-solving business versus a transactional business.
That's all we are.
Yeah.
We're just certified problem solvers. Yeah. And I'm getting that as merch. I'm going to start getting merch because I have a whole bunch of shirt ideas. So that's something.
Yeah, and branding is everything.
Yeah, certified problem solver is going to be on one of mine.
So that's what it's about.
That's all we are. What's one thing that you would tell younger Ace?
Younger Ace, I would tell him to just lock in, stay focused, believe in yourself, no matter what, even throughout the dark times, throughout the times where everyone else doubts you, or you even fail at certain points in your life. Just to keep on going and don't think twice about it, and don't move unapologetically and aggressively, because at a certain point in my life, I was moving passively. I was a big guy, so it was always my mindset is scared to bump into everything, scared to crash, scared to hurt people because of how I moved.
Right.
Now I would go back and I tell myself, man, move how you move naturally, move forward, and don't stop.
Move for you.
Yeah, and confidence is everything.
Absolutely.
Yeah, if you install that in your younger people and your younger self, then I mean you'll be unstoppable. That's the one thing that makes greatness is confidence. If you're confident in anything in your life, you can do anything, and I truly believe that. If you're confident in real estate, if you're confident in sales, if you're confident in your relationship, in yourself, then it will be successful.
It's that first step.
Yeah.
It's taking that first step.
Yeah.
That's what makes or breaks
in
winners.
your body, being confident in yourself. So many people lose confidence in themselves first, and then they become overweight. You know what I mean? Like when you stop loving yourself, when you stop really caring for yourself, because you lose all confidence. And the only way to get your confidence back is to work forward on yourself and to really dive in and figure out who you are. And then, like you said, like talking back to my old self, that's what I would tell them. I'll just be confident, man. Just believe in yourself no matter what. And you'll stay fit, you'll stay rich, you'll stay successful, and nothing will bother you outside of
because you know who you are.
Yeah.
You are comfortable with you. So when the next person decides that they have an opinion about you, well, tough shit, because that's not the opinion that I have of myself, and it sucks to suck that that's your opinion of me, because I'm a cool motherfucker.
Yeah.
And your picture of me does not paint out to be, but oh well, so sad. It's your loss, because I rock like applesauce.
Exactly.
So.
And if you talk to yourself like that every day, you're going to be okay, because it's so many negative triggers in the world that will train you and to submit to the negativity. So many things. So many things you're comparing yourself with. Social media. So yeah, it's just,
well, that's the easiest thing that you can compare yourself to. When you're scrolling and you see this person get this amount of likes, then you start, breaking yourself down, or they look good in this outfit, you have the same outfit. It's because they don't own into who they are. Exactly what you said. If you are not confident in the skin that you or the person that you set out to be, then anything that you see you're going to compare yourself to, because you don't like who you are. I did that exact same thing. When I was 300 pounds, it was by no mistake. Like, nobody gets to that point by accident. They do it by feeling sorry for themselves, depression, and things of that nature. But once you really realize that the only person that's really fucking you is you, and you have to stop. You have to. And I knew that nobody was going to come down and save me. Like, it's not like a fairy book story, that in reality, like, you are your own savior. And I'm so glad that, I got that opportunity to change back or take back my life, right? Because that could have easily been my story of being a W-2 worker, overweight, just going by the system, getting upset about inflation and things that are out of my control, and hating people because I think that the person that's on my counter is the reason on why I'm in poverty. Yeah. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Where can people find you, and how can anybody help you? How can somebody add value to Ace and your
just follow
Elite
me
Capital
at Ace Billions. Follow our business at Elite Capital Investors. You can go on our website, check out some of the deals that we have at elitecapitalinvestors.com. Check me out on YouTube at Ace Billions. I'm pretty much everywhere. LinkedIn, Facebook. I'm everywhere. So
definitely,
Spotify.
I'll add all of his links into the description on the channel. Thank you guys so much for coming on again and coming and tuning in for Ask Alexis. If you would like to be a guest on this show, I would love to have you. Please submit a comment or a personal message to me. And any questions that you guys, the viewers, are interested in knowing, and in terms of real estate, where we see the Vegas going, whether it's on commercial or residential side. Our goal is to network with as many people and, keep up to date in this Las Vegas market as much as possible. Thank you so much, and I'll see you on the next one. Welcome to Ask Alexis, the space where we dive deep into all things real estate, business, life, and fitness. And I can't wait to bring you even more value. Now, let's get started.